It's Seeing Red, the New York Soccer Roundup. Since 2010, your weekly source for independent New York Red Bulls news and opinion. Now, from the Joe Goldstein Studio, here's your host, Mark Fishkin.
Everybody, it's Seeing Red, the New York Soccer Roundup. We are live and getting ready for the first time ever for a Seeing Red watch-along, and that's when we're going to watch the Red Bulls take on Nashville SC tonight. We're going to do it together. We're really, really excited about it. So we're really, really glad that you could join us. We're doing it live again. We've got let's get those lineups going. As you can see, hello, thanks for joining. You can make comments live, and we can absolutely take them into the show. The lineups are out and ready for the Red Bulls and Nashville SC. The Red Bulls starting, I think, kind of a continuation of the lineups that we have seen to date, right? Even though the Red Bulls are playing an unbelievable 9 matches in the month of May, they're rolling out both DPs in the lineup. They're rolling out a combined backfield duo of Ayla and Sean Nealis, Carballo and Edelman. Mohamed Sofo gets a start, which is awesome. And Carmona will be a little bit easy, a little bit challenging. We'll see. Choupo-Moting as well. Again, I can see your comments. If you make them live, you can absolutely get them here on the show. Here's the Nashville lineup. Nashville, coming in 3-1-1 in their last 5. They've got a really hot streak going. They're feeling good about their chances and everything that's going on with them. We're only a few minutes away. Alex Muil, our old friend, is going to start. And of course, Sam Surridge and Hani Mukhtar. I hope to have some guests that will be taking part in joining me. But, let's just use this as the ability to hang out and watch the game together. I have a few tidbits, a few things to share. John Kleinchester says 8-0 prediction for tonight. I think we'd be hard pressed to see an improvement over what we saw at Red Bull Arena on Saturday in the White Wedding. But nevertheless, I think a draw, frankly, would be just fine for me if we're talking about playing a tough Eastern Conference team on the road. Again, let's go back. Let's take a look at the all-time results between these two teams. And there we go. It really important to note that Red Bulls have never lost to Nashville in 7 tries. And that's really hard to do, right? And in fact, Nashville only scored a single time against the Red Bulls across those 7 games. Now, obviously, for most of that time, it was Gary Clark playing a very, very tough defensive style against New York. We talked about a little bit about this in the show this week. Let's see if I can get my changes going here. Let's see. Nashville equality side, they're 5th in the East. They're ahead of New York by 2 points. They've scored 22 goals, and under BJ Callahan, I think, has done a really good job. New York got them early in the season, and they've really kind of pulled it together. Here's their last 5 games as we get ready for these two teams to come out. And obviously, look, I'm not showing the video. It's us guys just watching, and gals, hopefully, watching the match together. In their last 5, right? They've hit a 7 spot, dropping a 7-2 win on Chicago. They sneaked by Chattanooga Red Wolves in the U.S. Open Cup. They have a quality win over a Charlotte side, so that's good. And again, once again, these teams, this has been such a one-sided series over Nashville's time in MLS. Sofo has a goal. Forsberg has a goal. Those were the games. That was the game earlier this March at Red Bull Arena when New York won 2-0. And let's get those lineups live. Depending on the size of your screen you're watching on, you can check it out and see exactly what we've got here. Again, it's Sam Surridge, it's Hani Mukhtar, who after a slow start has really, I think, improved on his certainly his performance from last year. I'm just going to do a little quick repost live. Let's quick repost to that. So again, we're waiting. We're hearing the funky, annoying music that we always hear as we wait for a game on MLS Season Pass. But let's pull that down. Come on, you. Whoop. There we go. Nevertheless, for the Red Bulls, again, a very, very challenging time. Some interesting scores around the league right now. Cincinnati up on Toronto. That is not a surprise. But the LA Galaxy on top of the Philadelphia Union, 2-0 at Subaru Park. That, I think, is a massive surprise, especially after what we saw in the White Wedding at Sports Illustrated Stadium this weekend. Orlando up 2-1 on Charlotte. Montreal up 1 on Columbus. That's definitely interesting. DC United and NYC are scoreless. And what's crazy about that is this is an end-to-end first half. I watched most of the first half between DC and NYC. Hate watched most of them. But nevertheless, a lot of opportunities for goals, no goals. If you're new here, please like and subscribe this live show. Very much appreciated. Really, really important to grow our numbers as we go. So we're settling in. The broadcast is just about to start. It looks like a beautiful night in Nashville. Very, very exciting. And the boys are coming out. Looks like they're going to be wearing their reds tonight, which I think everyone can appreciate. What do you think? So put it in the comments here. What do you think we'll see tonight? Who's your first and only who's your goal scorers for New York as they're getting ready to take on Nashville SC? It looks like some Nashville fans there. Joe Willis, the team is being introduced right now on MLS Season Pass. We ran the lineup. It's let's see, we'll get those going again on the bottom of the page. There's the Nashville lineup. Yeah, I mean, it's Serge and Hani Mukhtar that are the duo that are going to have Valencia, Ayla, Sean Nealis, and Cam Harper making his first start in a while, coming on back. So that is exciting for Cam. And let's see, MLS Season Pass has Nashville's lineup in a 4-4-2. Here's the bench for New York. Marcucci, Parker, Edwards, Duncan, Stroud, Hall, Gengar, Alexander, Hack, and Bogosh. Not a ton of difference makers. I'm really actually kind of surprised that given the fact that New York has the Hudson Derby on the weekend, that we're seeing New York pretty much, and Santra Schwartz pretty much roll out a first team here, despite the fact that the team is now in its second week and playing twice a week games. Very, very interesting. Players to watch being profiled by the MLS Season Pass crew. No surprise for Nashville. It's Hani Mukhtar, leads the team in goals. That is not a surprise. Not one bit. 3 goals and 2 assists in his last 3 matches for Mukhtar. No surprise there. If you're just watching, thank you so much. If you're just tuning in, this is the Seeing Red live watch along that we're having. We're just doing this as a little experiment tonight to have a little live podcast as we watch the Red Bulls together. Season Pass identifies Choupo-Moting as the player to watch for New York, which of course is no surprise. Choupo-Moting is up to 6 goals on the season, and even more impressive, he started just about every game. So really, really, really good stuff. The players are coming out again. New York wearing their reds, Nashville wearing some dreadful yellow and blue kits that I don't think anyone is terribly excited about. Our old friend Alex Mouille gets the start for Nashville tonight as we get ready for the Red Bulls and Nashville SC. What do you think? Sofo, let's see. John says, I'm still thinking about Sofo kitchen the badge After his brace in the Open Cup, hope he puts another one in tonight. Yes, John, completely agree. And please, let's make this as interactive as possible. Would love to see your thoughts. Please make comments. I can see the YouTube comments. I can see Facebook comments if you're watching on Facebook. And again, a reminder here to please like and subscribe. That is what it's all about. So we definitely appreciate everything that you have to offer. We get ready to watch the Red Bulls and Nashville SC for the 8th time in league history. These two teams tangling. The Red Bulls have a win and 2 draws all time at Nashville, both at Nissan Stadium, where Nashville started, and now, of course, at Geodis Park. So hope you will be coming by and checking it out. Let your friends know that we're doing a little watch along. We're doing a live watch along of the Red Bulls and Nashville SC. And again, for New York, this match is being played just days before the first Hudson Derby of the year, and really, really important for New York. Obviously, if you're playing on the road, Schwartz doesn't know how to play a defensive game, to be clear. So I think the real key for New York is not to go down early to compete, certainly not to get hurt. We need all these players. Nashville is very much aware that Nashville SC has never beaten the Red Bulls, ever. And that's hard to do. So really, really interesting to see what will happen as we go. Again, have some friends that hope to be stopping by and chatting with us as we get ready for the Red Bulls in Nashville. Who's your key for the match for New York? Who has to step up tonight and make a big push to see who's going to have to play at or above their typical level in order for New York to get a win? I'm not talking typical, folks. I'm really excited to see Cam Harper as he continues to work his way back to health. His confidence will continue to grow, and he's just a joy to watch and a great interview. You may have seen us interview him earlier this week in the Red Bulls media call. All right. Well, we're back. I think we're ready to kick off. The Sunday night soccer promo is over. And hopefully we can get ready to celebrate and watch some soccer together, which I'm really excited to do. Hey, I was going to watch this game anyway. All the better to watch it with you. The fact that MLS Season Pass has an MLS Next Pro ad to get viewers, like if you're a complete and utter sicko and you're going to be watching MLS Next Pro games, these are all showing games that have some sort of a crowd. I can't honestly see tuning into too many of these games. You may have seen that MLS Next Pro is inserting a team in San Francisco's historic Kezar Stadium, and that has annoyed the heck out of San Francisco SF City FC. That's a USL2 team that currently plays there. I'm sure in front of friends and family. It'll be interesting to see if the new San Francisco MLS Next Pro team is able to attract fans there. Okay, we're done with the ads. We've seen the promos. We're all ready for the Red Bulls and Nashville SC. Maybe having some connectivity problems tonight. My apologies for that. But nevertheless, the Red Bulls are getting ready to go. Carlos Coronel coming off of a fantastic performance in the White Wedding with a couple of quality saves. So good stuff from Coronel, and we hope to see more of that tonight. What are your thoughts? Do you guys bet on the sports? Do you bet on the soccer? If so, put it in. Have you made a bet on tonight's match? We know that obviously Nashville is by far the favored team coming into tonight. Just virtue of they're also 5-1-1 on the season at home, just like the Red Bulls. It's the top mark in the East for any team. So good evening, TJ. Thank you so much for joining and watching our first ever live watch along of the Red Bulls from Seeing Red. I hope to have some guests here in the studio, in the Joe Goldstein studio with me. This is my favorite part, the win probability Let's see. You'd never bet on MLS? I think that's right. Let's see. Oh, 50% to win is Nashville SC. The Red Bulls are only 25% to win. I see. Okay, well, I guess that's fair. I think you're a smart man, John. I would also not bet on MLS unless I'm comfortable throwing my dollars down the drain. But great to have you as we are getting ready to watch Ventnor, New Jersey's own BJ Callahan, former U.S. men's national team interim coach, taking on our Sandro Schwartz. We get to see into the VAR booth. Again, you know it. I've said it many times. Nashville has never beaten the New York Red Bulls. And I will let you know that everyone around the club is very much aware of that fact. For New York, it's about not getting a massive drop off over the 7-0 victory on the weekend. The whistle is blown and we're off. Now I'm not doing play-by-play. There's a little bit of a delay from when I comes out of my mouth and it's coming onto your screen, and we're all streaming at different times and places. So this is just going to be kind of a running commentary. I urge you, please use the comments to talk to me. Good evening, Gary. Thank you for joining. It's our first ever live watch along, seeing red, the Red Bulls at Nashville. If you see me glancing off camera, it's because I'm actually having one eye on the game and one eye on all of your comments. So I really appreciate it. Here is Mohamed Sofo sort of getting a look. All right. It's really incredible that Joe Willis is still in the league. Oh my. Joe Willis getting a dangerous moment as Mohamed Sofo getting a little close to knocking that ball away. Of course, we have Joe Willis, who famously played in that incredible 2012 DC United playoff game. Here's Forsberg breaking in. Penalty shout? I'm not so sure. Again, who do you think needs to step up for the Red Bulls in order to New York to get a result tonight? Is a draw as satisfying enough of a result for you tonight? I mean, for me, given the fact that the Red Bulls are on the road, given the fact that they've just played, they've got the big Hudson Derby on the road. In fact, the Red Bulls are in the middle of start kicking off 3 straight road games. This is the only time this season, barring Open Cup play and MLS Cup play, that the Red Bulls will play 3 straight road games. It'll be interesting to see how New York is able to deal with the opponent. That's a brilliant centering ball. That's just Mukhtar definitely not happy with how he dealt with that. If Nashville is going to drive to the line and pull it back to the penalty spot, and Mukhtar is going to be there, more than half the time he's putting a shot on goal. That was very uncharacteristic. Hey, Jorge, I agree 100%. Carmona definitely needs to step it up. It seems perhaps like his performance, I think, has plateaued a little bit, and I think he's going to have to kind of put it into the next gear. And I think he's playing tonight on the right. Looking at the lineup, and again, I don't have my glasses on because I'm vain. It looks like he's on the right side of the formation with Sofo on the left. And Forsberg, of course, right behind Choupo-Moting. Yeah, I mean, he's not the speediest guy, Carmona. We haven't seen a ton of strong moments from Carmona this year. And it's easy to remember. I mean, the guy's on his 5th season with the first team. He's only 22, 23 years old. And it seems like New York has leveled up its roster, and he's kind of stayed in place a little bit. So I agree 100%. Valencia has been such a wonderful surprise this year, hasn't he? Oh my goodness. 5 assists. It was interesting. I was talking this week I asked the question of Sandro Schwartz on Valencia. Oh, he's doing so fantastic, and he's really stepping it up, and isn't it great? And there's a nod down to Joe Willis. And Schwartz didn't want to hear any of it. He's like, we're If he has a bad day, then it's youth and inexperience, and if he shows a good performance, then he's arrived before his years. I think Schwartz is very, very aware that Valencia is a young player in his first season in MLS. 5 assists is nothing to sneeze at, but I think that Schwartz is very eager not to get expectations too high for a young player like Valencia. It's hard to argue. What are you seeing in the early going here? What have you noticed in the first 5 minutes of this game? Understand that Wi-Fi may be cutting in and out for me, so I apologize for that. This is the cagey first minutes of a match where the teams are feeling each other out. New York gets a ball into Nashville's box. Nashville had that one thrust forward. Teams are really looking to find. There hasn't really been any physical play as of yet. Nashville breaking down, broken up. Oh my. Chupo is way offside on that opportunity, way offside. But already you can see what Schwartz wants to do, right? Which is just completely bypass the Nashville midfield and get the ball down as quickly as possible. Chupo obviously way offside. That's not going to be a big deal. Sandro looking dapper. Surely very happy not to have to wear a coat or a jacket. Nice warm night in Nashville. Our first ever watch along. Here I am. Thank you so much for joining, Dick. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining our first ever watch along of the Red Bulls and Nashville SC. Here's Nashville's first thrust down the left-hand side. It's centered and parried away. Not really too much trouble. There was an excellent story by Jeff Reuter in The Athletic today that talked about the challenges that Nashville's Latin American supporters group is having right now. And that is they are staying away from the game because they are afraid that ICE, may confront them there and bad things may happen, which is truly, truly unfortunate. And so if you see Nashville supporters end a little quiet or a little less full tonight, that is why. There's Daniel Edelman doing what Daniel Edelman does, clogging up the middle. Well done, Daniel. Mukhtar is not exactly a... Oh, I don't know about that. That replay was... I also feel the day that happens at Harrison, Dick. Here's Hani Mukhtar. About 35 yards out. Let's see what he can do here. What? Oh. Well, the Red Bulls certainly dodge a bullet there as Sam Sturridge heads in Hani Mukhtar's free kick. And yet, offside. The offside flag was up. So, good stuff there. A reminder, if you have happened upon this here video and you are not yet a subscriber, oh, that's a beautiful finish. Hani Mukhtar left early? Is that the judgment that Mukhtar didn't wait for the whistle? That's insane. Please, with the liking, please the subscribing. We really appreciate it. Yes, offside. Thank you, John. I'm so glad you guys could join me. I hope this is an enjoyable way to watch the game. I think, again, I hope that some of my Seeing Red co-hosts could join. They also have very busy lives. The Knicks are also playing. The Mets are also playing. So it's certainly a busy sports night. But nevertheless, I really appreciate you guys coming by and spending a few minutes, and we can just watch as friends and we can get to know each other a little bit and all that. I know most of you pretty well anyway. We're coming up on about my clock says 8:55, and short of that offside, that really was the only scoring chance I've seen, quality scoring chance by either team so far. If you've just joined, I mean, again, Nashville's never beaten New York. They're really, really excited about this opportunity tonight. I'm not sure who these announcers are. They're pretty low in my ear pods because I'm trying to hear myself and be aware of any comments that you guys are making. But nevertheless, if you haven't followed us on the Instagram and Blue Sky, please do so. I know you guys. I know you guys are following along. BJ Callahan has worked his team into a very cohesive unit. Now, mind you, he definitely has some quality pieces in both Sam Surridge and Hani Mukhtar, and I think it took a couple of weeks naturally. This is a team that's far more dynamic from what we used to see from Gary Clark when he was coach of this team. All right. Red Bull's really seemingly content to let Nashville have the ball. They're not pressing all there. I mean, here's Chupo getting close, but they're not really pressing. And they're apparently trying to go over the top a little bit as well here. We've reached the 10-minute mark without any damage done, but already you can see these teams kind of slowing it down a little bit as they're settling into what this game might be. Of course, the Red Bulls of 2025 are a lot more comfortable possessing the ball than anything we've seen up until this point. Ugh. All right, that's fortunate. Red Bulls going to get a throw in the attacking half, their first attacking half throw of the game. That was fortunate because Harper fell down. He's going to leave it. Sean Nealis taking this throw, which is certainly interesting for center backs taking the throw in the attacking half, but so be it. Amazing to me that Andy Nahar is still playing soccer. Nahar, famously a Honduran American youth product out of the DC United system, and really the focus of a lot of Sturm and Drang as DC, the early days of DC United when they actually had an academy. And it was really a bit nutty that here DC United at a time when the US were still on the rise and tackling with Honduras. Here's a long ball that Cornell heads down, and very fortunate that fell to Caravaggio, because if that had gone to a Nashville player, that was going to be a natural chipping opportunity. Here's Carmona. Okay, so this is the second time that Red Bull players have slipped, and I know it's probably a little slick on the turf, but that does not bode well, and it may mean that these players are going to have to change their footwear during halftime, because that's not what you need to see, especially in a game that New York wants to condense the field. The sharp cutting is going to be a real important part of it. Well done by Sean Nealis to just gobble that opportunity up. Right back is Cam Harper tonight, Jorge, which is a little different. I think Schwartz wants to get Harper's dynamism on the field, and we know that he can work back and he can defend as well as anyone. It speaks to Schwartz's confidence in Kyle Duncan right now, though, because shocking well, maybe not so shocking. I mean, Kyle Duncan is working his way back to working his way back to full fitness and playing against a dreadful LA team and then playing here. That's a foul. All right. New York's going to get their first free kick opportunity here. Listen, if you're watching by yourself, tell your friends, send them the link. Let them know that we're doing a little watch along. Just us guys here on a Wednesday night watching the Red Bulls and Nashville SC together. Good stuff. In the 15th minute. Now this is far for Forsberg. I'm not going to lie. He pops it right into the all right. That was a quality scoring chance, which earns a corner for New York. Well done. Nahar what is Nahar doing with the two-tone hair? Come on now. Willis looks like a root beer tapper. Short corner by the Red Bulls, and we're going to do it again. We're all aging poorly, Dick. Well, we're all aging. Let's just say that. Again, tell your friends you're watching Seeing Red Live's Watch Along, first ever here on our YouTube channel and also on Facebook. So if you're on the Facebook, hello. All right. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. I can see that half of you are watching on Facebook and half of you are watching on YouTube. We're trying to grow our YouTube numbers. So if you could ask your friends to just subscribe to us on the YouTube, that'd be great. Our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the season. That would be very meaningful for us. New York has definitely had the better of play over the last minute or two with 2 corner kicks, and so it looks like some possession that Nashville is playing out of. Calmly put away by Ayla over the side. It's really tough to see just how many seats are filled at Geodis Park because of the pattern of the seats themselves are all multicolor, unlike our beautiful blue and red seats where it may be a little easier to note when there is a human in them as the camera pans quickly. Thank you so much for joining us for this watch along. We're watching the Red Bulls play at Nashville right now, both on Facebook and on YouTube. Okay. Oh, our friend Alex Muil, is he getting a yellow? No, he's getting a talking to. This is the ref, by the way, that also refed New York in MLS Cup. And the one beef I had with him, he's pulling the shirt. Alex Muil, always cheating. The one bone to pick I have with tonight's ref who refed MLS Cup is, of course, when Elias Manuel got completely blown up. Completely in the box at injury time, and they didn't even look at it. They didn't even go to VAR. Just nutty. Agree, Dick, about getting Sofo in the action. I don't know if he's touched the ball yet. Here we are almost 20 minutes into this match. Is that a foul on New York? New York offside? All right. Let me know in the comments, how would you rate the season so far? I mean, obviously, I think a 7-0 beatdown does wonders to perhaps mask some of the challenges that the Red Bulls have had. If you had a letter grade for the Red Bulls so far for the first third of the season, what would it be? Please put it in the comments. Let me know. What do you think? How would you grade Sandro Schwartz? With the understanding, of course, that Lewis Morgan has played exactly 1 game this season. What do you think? What would you grade the team? All right, there's that there's that cutback that we saw from Nahar. Again, you can see very clearly what Nashville's trying to do in the box. right? They're trying to get to the end line and pull it back to the post, pull it back to the spot where Hani Mukhtar will be there for calm finishes. I see some comments coming in. I'll get to them in a sec. Let's see. I met a Philly fan at the airport after the game, won tickets to the final. He said it was a clear foul from his angle. He was right to be in the goal. And he was right by the goal, I'm assuming. Jorge's saying, yeah, I mean, absolutely. That should have been a penalty kick for New York with a chance to tie MLS Cup in injury time. And I would absolutely give that to Forsberg, obviously. Dick says it's an A. Yeah, gotcha. Behind the coach, behind the goal. Thank you, Jorge. An A for coach. I mean, there have been a couple of matches so far this season where the effort just kind of hasn't been there. And that's a little bit challenging, right? So, and that's on the coach. I mean, if you're saying that, Dick, that Schwartz gets an A on the season, I mean, what does that mean for the rest of the team? Is it 5, 4, and 3 is just kind of nah, especially when you talk about losing to DC United at home and you talk about losing to New England. And to be fair, New England has picked it up. I mean, they've won 4 or 5. They are now contending with the Red Bulls around the line. And if New York, obviously there are a lot of games tonight, New York can really help their position on the season with all 3 points tonight. From what I've seen so far, fair enough. Let's get Morgan back. From what I've seen so far, a B- for the team from Dick. An A for coach and a B- for the team. Okay. Funny stuff. This is not a game that is going to be made for goals tonight. That's for sure. I am not seeing a lot of goals in this game. I think both of these teams are working around the perimeter of their opponents. They seem loath to bring it inside. That's a nice ball. Here's Carmona. Bringing it to center. A chance went wanting. That is a foul. All right. Sean Nealis is caught way upfield, and here, all right, he's able to get back. If I'm Nashville, I have to move faster against the Red Bulls in that situation. Have to generate a quality scoring opportunity. All right. 23rd minute. Yeah, it doesn't look like there are a lot of people there when you can get to really focus. I know it's a midweek game. I know that school is not yet out of session in Nashville, Tennessee. We heard that from Ben Wright this week on the Seeing Red podcast. Nevertheless, here we go. Here, breaking out just as you called. Okay. Well, that almost turned a corner, but nevertheless. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this Seeing Red watch along. First ever Red Bulls and at Nashville SC happening right now on MLS Season Path. Very much appreciate you joining. I'm not telling the game story here. We're just talking about the team and talking about the game. That's what we're doing. Again, this is really just kind of ho-hum. This is not the kind of slam bang game action that we had been sold beforehand. Nashville, again, a very tough team to play at home. They're 5-1-1 at home this season. the Red Bulls, one of the few winless teams on the road left in MLS. If it doesn't happen tonight, I know Red Bull fans are really excited about the possibility of it happening Saturday in Queens at Citi Field. Once again, pulling it back to the center for Mukhtar, unsuccessful. Nahar is far more active, as I have seen him, and far more active than I thought he would be. He gets up into the attack. My goodness. Mm-hmm. Oof. I mean, if you're the director of this team, if you're the director of this program, where are the highlights that you're showing? Right? I mean, I appreciate showing the replay of an offsides goal. They have nothing else to show so far. Come on, Cam. Cam's got to be a little more alert there. We are in the 26th minute. The Red Bulls and Nashville SC. Let me ask you this, folks: Are you excited about the Open Cup? Is that a competition that you're excited about this year? The Red Bulls will host a week from today at Red Bull Arena. They'll host FC Dallas for a chance to go to the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open Cup. For my money, and I think the team clearly understands, they're 4 matches away from a championship, and they are definitely going to prioritize that. But when you look at the players that are playing tonight, and you look at who's on the bench, and let me play here. This is who's on the bench for New York. There is no one on this list of bench players for the Red Bulls that, for me, will be able to change the game. No one that's going to come on and be a difference maker. I mean, you can make Yengar has some goals. Bogac got his first assist, far too young to, and inexperienced to be a major difference maker. And so, you think about where the rotations are going to be for the Red Bulls, especially if they're playing without Forsberg, because he will need some rest. I mean, at his advanced age, Choupo-Moting as well, these guys are not going to be able to go 90 minutes every time. And yes, you have this great opportunity in a week's time to advance to the final 8 of the Open Cup. And so, you've got to play your best players then. Mixing things up instead of against Philly or NYCFC every year is good for the Open Cup. I agree. I think this move to the western part of the bracket for the Red Bulls, despite going to Colorado Springs on a Tuesday, I think is great for Red Bulls fans that are just so tired of playing these local rivals in the Cup. Jorge says every year Open Cup is awesome when we're still in it. Yeah. Oh boy. Is that offside? Yes, that is. This match is not an advertisement for MLS. That is for sure. Gotta take the US Open Cup seriously. Thanks so much. Oh boy. Okay. We're in the 29th minute. Let me see if I can pull up some stats here. They're not going to be pretty. Not going to be pretty what we've seen from this game so far as we watch Nashville and the New York Red Bulls live on YouTube and the Seeing Red Facebook page. Let's see. We're going to pull up some stats and hopefully have that not blow up what we've seen. We are 30 minutes into this game. There has been 1 shot attempted in 30 minutes. No, Rick. Rick wants to know if we are winning yet. We are not winning. We are not losing, though, so that's good. We're approaching the 30th minute. There has been a single shot taken by either team. This is not good soccer. But if you're Sandro Schwartz, this is the kind of match that is fine on the road. I mean, yes, you play to win the game, but Nashville's so strong at home. We're in the 30th minute. Nashville is lining up for a corner. Sam Surridge makes Noah Isla look like he's small. Nashville plays a short corner. Nahar with a little flip. Again, trying to break it in. That was some good team defense by the Red Bulls for that. Very good. That was good. The Red Bulls kept their hands down on this opportunity. Nashville gets, 3 shots during this sequence? 1, 2, 3. And the ball doesn't get to the net. And that's what you have to do in these type of situations. Schaffelberg looks like he's playing in 1974 with that headband and that hair. Ridiculous. Here comes the corner. Oh, boy. New York has been roasted a number of times on these dead ball situations. And I know that they could certainly benefit from having Alexander Hack on the field. But these Nashville players are getting free often. I mean, that's a free header by Palacios. That was dreadful for a center back, but he was unmarked. That was either Schwartz is playing zonal marking or someone really lost their assignment. That was not good. In the 32nd minute, we're watching. Let's come back and see. It's a chess match. Oh my goodness. If you're old enough to know who Jim Carvelis is, and I know that some of you are, I will take that as a fantastic compliment. Oh, that's Eddie. Thank you. Thank you, Dick. Well, Eddie, again, I don't have my glasses on because I'm vain. If you're watching the Red Bulls live watch along on Seeing Red, you're watching me, and I hope you have the Red Bulls on because I'm commenting on what I'm seeing. I'm not calling the game, mind you. We're just talking, Seeing Red style, about what we're seeing. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe to the show on the YouTube in particular. Very much appreciated. We're starting the 33rd minute, and here's Cam Harper getting wide on the right. DDD. New York hasn't really held the ball for 15 seconds, I think, much in this game. That's a great through ball for Sofo. All right. There's an MVP for this first half for New York. Who is it? Who's leading in the bull of the match race right now after the first half hour? Anyone come to mind? Maybe it's Harper. Maybe it's Edelman. That's a nice ball to Sofo, and that just floated on him. I know that Dick had said that Sofo needed to get more involved, and I agree wholeheartedly. Forsberg hasn't touched the ball a whole lot, has he? Oh, all right. Here's Nashville retreating really for the first time. They're so compact. That's very nice. Okay. I was going to say that's very nice breaking of that. Here's Nashville in numbers. This is absolutely the worst situation. Okay. And that's what we expected. Ugh. That was not good. And the Red Bulls find themselves down 1-0. We had talked just a few seconds earlier about how New York was sustaining possession. I mean, here you have New York completely outmatched. No one stepping. Tag Seth scores. I mean, it's a well-taken goal. That's not on Coronel. Oh, is it Yazbek? Yeah, it's Yazbek. Ugh. All right. Yazbek scores only the second goal that that Nashville has ever scored on the New York Red Bulls. Yes, Chuck. Yes, damn indeed. Defense was completely asleep, says Chuck. I agree with you. Not great at all. All right, all right. Just dial it back a bit, Kleinchester. That is really, we're not going into the drink right now. That is not appropriate. Is that Valencia getting a yellow card? This 10-minute period before halftime is going to be really, really key for New York. They cannot concede again if they want to stay in this match. And now with Valencia on a yellow, Nashville is going to focus down that right side of their attack. I mean, yeah, I'd give it. That's a yellow. You know, taking the punch and now trying to figure out how to work your way out of it is going to be really, really key. Here's the free kick from Nashville. Bouncy, bouncy. They want a handball. Okay. Corbett says that's the first lead that Nashville has ever had on the Red Bulls. Again, they're a very good team, and they are playing with a ton of confidence at home, where they're 5-1-1 on the season. And so, you know, it's not a surprise that they've taken a lead in the first half. New York does not do well when they concede the first goal. I don't have the record on top of me. Let me see if I can find that. Maybe internet, you can find it faster than me. I'm gonna pull it up. Just give me a moment. Let's see if I can find this. I really should have had this ready to go. All right, let's pull up this match preview. Going to take a sec. Red Bulls trail 1-0 on a goal by Yazbek around the 34-minute mark. They trail for the first time ever against Nashville SC. I'm going to be pulling up the stats on how the Red Bulls do when they are trailing in a match. If my computer can figure that out. Wilson says the whole sequence is on Nealis. That very well may be the case. All right. Given the fact that I am streaming live and given the fact that I am watching live, my bandwidth is getting stretched. And let me see if I can pull up the how New York does when down. Some scores by John Corbett coming in, keeping us abreast of everything that's happening. Thanks, John. When the opponent scores first, the Red Bulls are 1-4-1 in 2025. So that doesn't happen the most, right? New York scores first in most of their games, the majority of their games, but nevertheless. Thank you, Rick. Rick is so generous by allocating 3 of the goals against the Galaxy to this match, right? I like that. I would just take 2 of those goals. That would be enough right now for me. Thank you, Rick. Again, this period before halftime, super, super crucial for the Red Bulls to maintain their composure, maintain their shape, have the ball, slow the game down. Nashville, I think, knows if they get another chance with 4 runners heading at the net, New York is probably going to be a little bit challenged. We've hit double digits in viewers across all platforms. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for coming and watching. Let me know if this is something that you are appreciating, watching along with Seeing Red as we watch the Red Bulls trail in the 41st minute at Nashville SC. Nashville SC tied for the best home field advantage in the MLS East with a 5-1-1 record. I had hoped for some Seeing Red co-hosts to join tonight, but it is oh my. Oh, what a fantastic play by Coronel. What a phenomenal play by Coronel. That had 2-0 all over it. And that, to be fair, probably would have ended the game. And Carlos Coronel on his own stopping that. What happened? Did Ayla get? Wow. Oh, just throws out the right paw. Surridge, I mean, has to be able to lift that. Here's Mukhtar with the corner. Oh, Alex Muyl challenged to score. Shocking. Oh, dear. Of course, we all know the story that Alex Muyl and Timothy Chalamet were childhood friends, right? That is, in fact, the case. Growing up in Manhattan. Okay. Just Cornell's got to calm this stuff down and get to halftime. Goal of the match for sure, especially if New York's going to be able to pull points out of this. Diego says that New York is lucky not to be down 2. Absolutely correct. That is a phenomenal stop by Coronel. Coronel has played out of his mind this year. As much as we talk about everything we've seen from Forsberg, we can talk about Valencia's fantastic showing. We can talk about how Choupo-Moting, not only from his minutes, but 6 goals on the season has been a surprise. I mean, you got to give it to Carlos Coronel. Every single game this season so far, he has been terrific. I cannot remember where I've a time where I've said, yeah, that was on Cornell. Perhaps you can, the internet. Tell me. Again, if you are watching this, and I apologize if I am repeating myself, you could go to our YouTube page and subscribe. That would be very, very helpful. Did you know that when we get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of time watched, we get to actually earn pennies on the dollar from YouTube? So very much appreciated. I feel much better with the ball in the Nashville end. Let's see if New York can get to halftime here. Oof. Nashville's tried to go over the defense a number of times today. They're doing it in the air, they're doing it on the ground, they're doing it this way, and they're doing it that way. Again, New York 1-4-1 when conceding first. Nashville has 6 shots now to New York's 1, and their 1 shot was not on goal. The stats have definitely turned. Nashville leads with 54% possession. Hey, everybody. If you're watching, we're doing our first ever Seeing Red watch along of the Red Bulls and Nashville SC, where Nashville leads 1-0 on a goal by Yazbek on a 4-on-2 breakout and a fine finish. As poor as New York's played, and they have played poorly, we all know that Schwartz makes a fantastic mid halftime adjustment. Once again, no one is challenging these Nashville runners. No one is stepping to them. I mean, Mukhtar took that shot from distance. He just as easily could have dribbled into the box, or heaven forfend, pass and cut out some New York defenders. Nashville is swarming New York as they approach the midfield stripe. Mm. Let's see if New York can do anything with this free kick. Hopefully generate some pressure on Nashville's net in injury time. Of course, if Forsberg takes too long, the ref may just call it. Oh, no, they're just restarting. Nope. New York looks like they're playing with zero urgency whatsoever. They just want to get to into the locker room for halftime. I'll hope you stay with me from halftime. We'll have our first ever one-word review from a live Seeing Red watch along. We've played the 1 minute of extra time. That's it. Yeah, that's halftime. Oh, not the best half ever, but again, not terrible. What's your one-word review for this match? What's your one-word review? Let's hear it. We're going to halftime. Thank you so much for coming and stopping in as New York trails Nashville 1-0 at halftime. We're going to get some one-word reviews. Dick Mack says confused. Rick Resnick says not terrible. Jorge Lewis Morris says something I'm not going to say on YouTube. John Corbett says bleh. Not the best half of soccer from the Red Bulls this year. But the good news is Chuck says hung over. They may be hung over, but listen, there is nothing to be ashamed of being down 1-0 against a strong Nashville team that's playing at home, and they're very, very good at home. The real question is, what kind of adjustments will Schwartz make at halftime? That's the key. So with that, I'm going to literally step away for 1 second, and I'll be back. Keep it here. Don't move. And we'll be back to talk more about this game in a second. So stay with. All right. Just checking the texts, making sure everything's good. The Red Bulls. Let's pull up some stats. Oh, Chuck, it's absolutely my pleasure. Why playing one forward? Why Chupo playing? He should be on the bench. Who is the forward that should be playing? I'll ask, William. If you're saying that he should be saving his minutes, I don't know if Choupo-Moting has touched the ball in the second half. in the first half rather. So let's pull up some stats. DDT. DDT. Oh dear, my game has fallen off. Let's see if we can pull that back. It's Seeing Red's first ever match watch along. You're watching me both on our YouTube channel and on Facebook Live. Thank you so much for stopping by. We're hanging out. The Red Bulls are down 1-0 on a 34th minute goal by Yazbek. It was an absolute breakout. Four Nashville attackers running at Carlos Coronel. Yazbek carried the ball and carried it and blasted it in from just outside the box. Not ideal. Let's take a look at some stats if we can. We can pull this up. DDT. Nashville had 54% possession in the first half to New York's 46, an XG of 1.59, which means that Coronel has done very, very well to limit the chances. 8 shots to 1 for Nashville. Of course, there was Yazbek's goal in the 34th minute. This is not a match that I feel the Red Bulls are out of, but in the second half, New York is going to have to figure out. Wow, that is just offside on that first goal. New York is going to have to figure out how to maintain possession and how to start questioning. Rick says, real question, how do I find the YouTube version? I don't see it on the channel. I know I'm not that bright. I have to tell you, I agree. I'm having some trouble finding the show on our YouTube channel. And to be honest, I have so many windows open. If you're watching on YouTube, I think Dick Mack is, can you put the URL of that of the live show in the chat here? That would be really helpful if you could. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, if you could go ahead and actually copy the URL of this here video and put it in the comments, I would really appreciate that, because I can't find it. I don't honestly, I don't have the man in the booth. So it's me watching the game, it's me running the stream, it's me looking at your comments. It's a one-man band here. So sadly, I don't have access to what the URL is. And because I use a third-party software to project the graphics onto the screen and to be able to push the video both to YouTube and Facebook, I don't have the ability to find that URL, which would be really. Oh, you found it. Can you? Oh, thank you so much, sir. Now the question is, how do I copy that? Because I can see it, I just can't copy it. Oh well. Rick, if you're on, if any of you are on Blue Sky and can say, I'm watching this here live, I would really appreciate it. Found it through search, not on your channel. Really interesting. All right, I'll try that as well. I don't know if there was a single high point from this first half that I can lean on. Maybe the offsides call. Maybe, let's see, notifications. Oh, thank you for subscribing. SR Live watch along. I can add a live channel to the Seeing Red page. Just email it to you if that helps. Yeah, that does help. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. You guys are the best. I really appreciate this community. Thank you so much. All right. And now we'll post this on Blue Sky. What is your go-to snack? What is your go-to what's your go-to routine that you have during halftime? Do you go, I know it's weeknight, watch the second half of RBNY at Nashville with Seeing Red? Awesome. Let's see if that juices anything. Maybe the anthem was that good. It is Nashville after all. I'm sure hot chicken was good in Nashville if that's your bag, baby. So that's posted on Blue Sky. So I really appreciate that. Let's take a look at some MLS scores, shall we? And see if there's anything to feel good about by what else is happening in the world around MLS. All right. What's happened tonight? Oh my goodness. Montreal, fresh off their first win of the year, gets a draw at Columbus. DC United and New York City don't fall into a sinkhole, but they draw 0-0. Orlando City 3-0 on Charlotte. Charlotte's lost 2 in a row, and New York will face Charlotte as part of this 9-match May marathon. The Union come back from 2 goals down to lead. The Union come back 2 goals down to lead the Galaxy 3-2 in the 90th minute. Cincinnati beat Toronto 1-0 on the road. I like Salty Night eating with thins and cheddar. Francis Pfeiffer says a point today would be great. I agree 100%. John Cluster says, will I be attending the U.S. men's national team in Harris in September? Yes, I just bought my tickets today with Sammers SC. I will be in 101 for the U.S. men in Korea. Hopefully it will go better than the last time the U.S. men's national team played in Harrison. Wheat Thins and Cheddar, says Dick Mac. We had some good one-word reviews. I'm going to give it to my friend Rick. Not terrible. Not great. Don't get me wrong. This was not a good half, but at the end of the day, New York has one direction to go. They take one shot all night in the first half, and Yazbek gets the goal in the 34th minute as New York's defense falls asleep. I'm Mark Fishkin. If you're watching right now, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube and can do us a solid and subscribe to the show, that would be much obliged. If you could do the liking, if you could do the subscribing, that would be really, really helpful for us as we continue to build there. And if you're old and you're watching on Facebook, as so many of you are, I certainly appreciate the support that you've given Seeing Red over these last 16 years. What? Crazy. Yazbek with a fantastic finish that Cornell had nothing to do with. And Nashville leads 1-0. Now we know, again, as I've said a number of times, Schwartz always puts in some phenomenal halftime changes. The real question is, is there anyone that New York is going to bring in and make a difference? Here's the bench for the Red Bulls. It's not exactly the 27 Yankees. It is a collection of young players, some older central defenders that lack a ton of speed, and Kyle Duncan. I mean, Pierce forward as well as playing the 6. I don't know if I would take off Caravaggio or Edelman right now because I think in general they're doing okay. It's just when Nashville gets out on the break, they're proficient, and that's a really big challenge. So Rick says, too soon, U.S. men in Harrison. Yeah, that was a long time ago, right? We've all moved on. Although I do have to say that my level of enthusiasm for the U.S. men's national team right now is not at a fever pitch. That may come to the surprises no one. I think you might be there as well. I mean, this team was so epically meh during the last few competitions they played in, and they have played like a bunch of pampered millionaires, which they are. I guess that's the flip side of these guys playing at the great clubs of Europe and starting all the time. They come into a training camp for the US men, and there are 6 or 7 guys that know that as long as they're going to be there, they'll play regardless of anything. And these guys have got to show up. We're no longer, we're done with the just pleased to be here of the US men's national team playing in Europe. We are staples there. But when you come home, you've got to actually show up. You've got to actually make a difference, and you've got to actually give it your all. And we haven't seen a whole lot of that of late from the US men's national team. After tonight, the Red Bulls come home, sleep in their own beds, and then on Saturday they will take on NYCFC, who drew at DC United tonight 0-0. They will take them on at Citi Field. You may have seen earlier this week the supporters for that game at Citi Field are in section 514, which is really far away from the action, and it's as far away as the Red Bulls have been. Certainly, they put Red Bull supporters during the playoff game last year in Section 312, and as New York took a 2-0 lead on City in that game, you couldn't hear the City support. All you could hear was the Red Bull support. So that was some exciting stuff. It looks like we're getting ready as we see shots of Broadway and Nashville, which is amateur night every night. We come into what looks like a mostly empty Geodis Park as the Red Bulls and Nashville SC get ready to pick it up again. Again, New York is trailing 1-0. I don't know if there was a mention. I don't know if there was a mention of the challenges around the Nashville Latino supporters group. I know they're doing their supporter cam. Not sure if they're mentioning it. We know that MLS does not like to wade into political issues. We also know that the many members of, here's Raheem Edwards. Okay. Raheem Edwards has played well in a number of appearances for New York. Oh, okay. So Schwartz pulled Valencia due to his yellow card. But I will tell you that if I'm Nashville, I am flying down that right hand of that attack, because we've seen Edwards be not impressive for New York a whole lot more than he has been. And of course, we're still waiting on Marcelo Morales, who has been injured as long as he's been with New York Red Bull. Yes. I'm not going to touch that, Dick, about MLS being on the right or wrong side of political issues. All right, the second half has begun. You are watching Seeing Red's first ever watch along. We're both, you and I, are watching the Red Bulls see if they can come back from a 1-goal deficit on the road at Nashville. Again, Sandra Schwartz pulling Omar Valencia for Raheem Edwards after Valencia picked up a yellow card in the first half. That ball floated by Edwards. May was searching for Carmona, but that didn't find him. Who has to step up for the Red Bulls in the second half? Name me one player. Put it in the comments. Let's see. New York is holding possession in the attacking half here for a pretty poor flip by Cam Harper. Nashville's content to just push it down. Yeah, I think that's right. I think Dick Mack has it. We have Harper. He's going to stand up and be a difference maker. 73 degrees. That's very nice. Very nice. I'll be curious if Callahan chooses to go into a shell and when he might do that. I certainly get the sense from what we've seen out of the New York attack tonight that a second goal will most likely end this. Nate Bacardi and Devin Kerr calling this game. Neither of these guys have much connection to New York. Such is life with MLS Season Pass. We can't have Kanji or Lloyd Sam all the time. What to do, what to do. There will be another Seeing Red pod this week to preview the Hudson Derby. As per usual, I'm going to be speaking to my friend Roberto Abramowitz most likely tomorrow, and we'll get that show out before the weekend. So we can look back at this and preview New York's first Hudson Derby match of the year. First of maybe two, maybe more. New York can't play City in the Open Cup, of course, because City crashed out due to a 96-minute header by the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Nashville now 77% to win. If you're a bettor, or even if you're not. There just hasn't been much dynamism at all out of New York's attack tonight, and you can understand coming off of that 7-0 victory against what arguably is the worst team in MLS, playing on the road in a difficult place to play. This is they're in their second week of this 9-match marathon in May. It's called alliteration. Let's see what Cam Harper can do. He can pass it. He can hold it. I will tell you that my feed has frozen. Not great, Bob. Let's see what Harper can do. Thank you so much for joining the Seeing Red Watch Along. We're both watching the Red Bulls and Nashville SC. That's a nice punch out by Willis. It's a foul on Chupo, interfering. Well, that's one way to affect the play, to run the keeper. That is one soupy mustache on Joe Willis, man. I think Duncan is better than Harper, says Francis Pfeiffer. Well, I mean, we know that. Oh dear. We know that Harper is not a natural wingback, right, Francis? He is playing in that position because, yeah. A time update. I'm at 49:19 now, way behind me now. Let's see if I can move up to live here. Hold on. 49. That's where I am. Okay. It's hard to synchronize everything when we're all streaming at different speeds. We're all streaming in different places. We're all streaming on different devices. But nevertheless, I believe I've caught up now. And, again, for New York, the question is, you've brought on Edwards. Who else is going to be a difference maker here? You've got Yengar on the bench. You've got Julian Hall on the bench. And Hall, frankly, his minutes have evaporated over the last month or so. I mean, we really just haven't seen a lot of him. He played Open Cup. Harper's better in getting into dangerous situations, says Francis Pfeiffer. I agree. Certainly more than Kyle Duncan. I am wary of a Duncan and Edwards pairing at the wingbacks. I don't feel good about that. We are in the 51st minute. Let's see what Cam Harper can do here. I mean, here's Nashville putting 11 men virtually in the box Wiki has got to play better there. And now they're off to the races. And we have Edwards trying to track the trailer. Let's see what happens here. That was good on Edwards to come back and cover Surge for sure, but yick. And that's what Nashville will do for the end of this game. They'll stay compact, right? And then they'll go right ahead and explode forward and try to turn New York over on the counter and end the game. See what Edelman can do here. Backwards. Where is Sofo? The answer is not involved at all. New York is so desperate. That's a good run, a half run. New York is so desperate to get Lewis Morgan back. My goodness. It just the entire defense just can sit on Forsberg and sit on Chupo. That's good possession, but come on, man. Will New York get a shot on goal? That does not count. That does not count as a shot on goal. Okay. Hall is 17, 18. Saving him for the Open Cup is ridiculous. That game is in a week. Schwartz has said he wants to go ahead and win that tournament. No one's being saved. You know, as we approach the hour mark, though, it will be interesting how long, frankly, how long Schwartz keeps his two DPs in this game, or if he just sends them home early, assuming they can land at Newark tonight. I said it. You're watching the Red Bulls first ever Seeing Red watch-along. We're watching the Red Bulls try to come back from 1 goal down at Nashville SC. They're in the 54th minute there. Easton All Great, not playing well. If you are watching on YouTube, I urge you, please subscribe to this channel. Help us out. Really, really appreciate it. If you're on Facebook, we love you as well. We don't. There's no discrimination here. Shenanigans, handbags happening right now at Geodis Park. Players gesturing towards each other. Cats and dogs sleeping together, mass hysteria. What's the... Edelman got the ball. Edelman got the ball. That's not even a foul. I'm sorry. He got the ball. Why you got to pick on Jersey? They're asking us to follow MLS 360 right now while we're watching a game on MLS Season Pass. I think the marketing message there is when your team isn't playing, give a try at MLS 360. All right. Nashville getting physical. That is a good break. Let's go. Very nice. Oh. Okay. This is close to a breakout that New York's had all match. Yes, let's go. Yes, New York. Chupo moaning with the finish. Well done. That was phenomenal. Joe Willis looks like he needs a root beer. Tremendous finish. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. The Red Bulls tie the match in the 56th. That breakout, absolutely phenomenal. Everybody's excited about it. Look at Wiki winning that ball. Look at Cam. This is New York's first shot on goal tonight. Choupo-Moting, 7 goals on the season in his 13th. Absolutely tremendous. Alex Muil playing a role as he so seldom did. That's not nice. Alex Muil was one of the nicest players I ever interviewed for Seeing Red. He's a genuine person, and he really struggled with the New York crowd because the expectations on him were so great. But look, he's made a really nice MLS career for himself. The Red Bulls are now, 33 minutes away from walking out of Nashville with a point, if that is in fact what they're doing. Now let's see what BJ Callahan does. Does he put the pedal down as he try to repeat? He's got to go for it at home. Remember, Nashville has never beaten New York in 7 tries. Ever, ever, ever. John wants to see an updated win probability, please. Using your sophisticated AI computers. Look at this. Oh my goodness. A fantastic passing combination leaves Forsberg maybe a little wanting on that shot, but that's terrific stuff. Dang, says Jorge. Dang. It's getting interesting. It's getting interesting. Ooh. Yeah. That's a good point. Oh boy. That would be a foul. Okay. That's a perfect. You got a foul. That's a perfect place to foul. I have no problem with that. Francis says, I agree about Muil. Would have been different in the 28 playoffs. It went better for us other than that game against the Red Bulls. I wish him well. Yeah. Well, the question now, Diego, is how important is it to have these two guys in the game? Let's see if New York can get through the next 10 minutes. Again, we haven't seen Sandro park the bus. Caravaggio's upset. We haven't seen Sandro park the bus. The notion that New York is going to pull ahead here, perhaps, without both Forsberg and Choupo-Moting, I think that's a bit of a stretch. So I think it's really, really interesting, a really interesting challenge. Yes, Coronel with the cleanup. Not challenging. Let's take a look at who is on the bench for Nashville. 74-year-old Teal Bunbury is on the field for Nashville. And if you recall, he played in Nashville's 2-0 loss at Red Bull Arena. Excuse me, dime in the jar, Sports Illustrated Stadium earlier this year. And if you were like me, you were really surprised that Teal Bunbury is still on this team and still playing. But yet he is. New York having the ball again. I think New York is slipping on this turf. Where is Sofo? Good play. Good defense by Sean. Very good. Very good. Frustrated and angry Sam Surge looking back at his team. they have harmed him. Should we do this again, guys? This is really fun. This is a good time. Again, I had hoped to have Seeing Red co-hosts come and join tonight. It's a busy night. Can anyone tell me what the Knicks did tonight in the chat? Thanks, John. Oh. Okay, you got to do better there. I mean, pull it out. Yes, we will do it again. We will do it again. I think weeknight road games are a perfect time to do that. The Knicks lost. Okay, that's all right. They'll get them next time out. Midweek madness. I hope to make it more of a. Oh dear. Oh, wow. Okay. That was Hani Mukhtar doing what Hani Mukhtar does. Not great. Ugh. That is definitely a punch in the grundle, as they say. Was Muil with the assist? Oh no, indeed. Where's the fourth? Where's Edwards? He's getting there late. Yeah, and no one's tracking. No one's tracking Mukhtar. Oh dear. I mean, that's a quality strike from Mukhtar. I mean, again, Cornell is shaded by Edwards on that, so he can't really see. That's good. I mean, that's quality again. What you gonna do? Early in the game, I certainly did not see 3 goals in this game. I'm glad the game's opened up. Now, again, the question is, what do you do? Not so much a carbon copy, William. It was a good pass that opened it up. If what do you do if you're Schwartz? Like, how do you do you keep your big 2 on for 90 minutes, or do you say, all right, let's take them off and let's play on Saturday and let's head to the Choppa? 25 minutes to play. Red Bulls with a corner. Kassem is on for Moyle. I don't know a ton about Kassem, but nevertheless, New York has scored some pretty set piece goals this season. Well, that was a nice ball. Let's see what can happen here. Not much. Again, New York is playing every 3 or 4 days through the end of the month. They have City, then they're home for FC Dallas in the U.S. Open Cup round of 16. I think it was Charlotte. How did the Knicks lose by 25 without Tatum? You're way behind again. It's not my fault, my guy. I'm moving as fast as the internet will allow me. In a perfect world, I would have the gig line. Dick says Edwards is difficult to watch. Yeah, not the best. My clock now says 65:58. And keep in mind, from the moment I say something, it takes a number of minutes to get to you. All right. There's the overlapping run. All right. Have we seen a sub in this game other than Edwards for New York? Who do you have to take up first, Choupo-Moting or Forsberg? I mean, I would put Hall or Bogac in for Choupo-Moting and let him rest. And I'd trail Forsberg a bit and maybe even put Stroud there. Is that a foul? Yeah, that's a good call. Seeing Red Live watch along. The Red Bulls down once again for the second time tonight after Hani Mukhtar's goal in the 63rd minute. Pretty goal. New York scored a pretty goal too. Choupo-Moting working his way up in the MLS scoring table. It's a nice ball for Caravaggio. We haven't heard much about whether Caravaggio is going to stay. He is coming up on his loan end date, which will happen in the middle of the summer. I believe it's July 1. And, he's been really important. He's been hurt a lot for sure. We had the big injury. I am convinced that if he was healthy during MLS Cup, even with Reyes out, you would not have seen LA Galaxy do what they did in the first 20 minutes of that game. Here's Cam. Come on, Sofo. Well, as we speak, Caravaggio puts it over the net. That's all right. If this is the final score, New York really doesn't have anything to be terribly undone about. Nashville is a quality side. Cam is working that wing, says Francis. Nice to see Sofo find Caravaggio as well. That's good stuff. Mm-hmm. New York would fall to 8th with a loss. Nashville would move up to 4th in the East with a win above Inter Miami. 0.32 on the XG? Come on, man. Choupo was wide open and unmarked for that header. 0.32 XG. Oh, that's quality. Quality. That was a chance, or at least a possession that really was not great. Not great, Bob. Let me ask you this. Will you be in attendance on Citi Field on Saturday afternoon at 4:30 when the Red Bulls take on NYCFC for the first time since the Red Bulls dropped a deuce? See what I did there? On Citi in the MLS Cup playoffs. Will you be at Citi Field? I will be there. I hope to see you there. I'll be the guy in the gray beard. If I'm Nashville, I'm slowing this game down big time. I'm just slowing it down. Nashville is still engaging New York in the defensive half. They're trying to blow up any opportunities before they even get started. 4 Nashville players above the midway line. They're keeping their shape very nicely as they're trying to finish out this game. Ugh. All right. Edwards fell down, but in the corner, so you got to give that to him. Funny how they moved us to the upper deck. Yes, we talked about that earlier on the night. I mean, you saw the goal. I saw the goal. That didn't look that difficult for me. Come on, Caravaggio. Good play by Willis to get a hold of that. All right. Good play by Ayla to break that opportunity up. I wish I could even. Oh boy, is that outside the box? Is that a yellow? Just outside the box. That is a huge break for New York if they have any hope of getting out of this with a point. Yes, that is clearly outside the box. Clearly, clearly, clearly. The contact was initiated outside the box. D. I mean, this is. I have no problem with this. I have no problem with this. Yeah, that is a professional yellow card on Harper. He did not want Schaffelberg breaking into the box. I'm fine with that. We really should start to see where disciplinary points are starting to come into play for these guys, because some of these guys will be nearing suspension. We haven't seen anything like this like we did in previous years for the Red Bulls, where it seemed like by now players were being suspended hither and yon, although we don't have Andres Reyes anymore. So there's that. Let's see what Mukhtar can do here. Dee. Come on, my guy. Good save by Coronel. Solid. Solid, solid. All right, here come the subs. Stroud in, Hack in, Wiki out. Edelman out. Sofo out. Let me tell you, this is a decision. This is a decision to keep Forsberg and Choupo-Moting on until the end of the match. This is a really interesting decision because New York, again, is in the middle of 9 matches in 31 days or 28 days, an obscene amount of matches. And if you're going to keep your top guys on, it's 73 degrees. It's not super warm, but it's warm. This is definitely, I mean, this is Schwartz going for these points, or going at least to tie this game up. Here's the corner once again. Oh my goodness, what just happened? Is Harper about to get his second yellow in a minute? You know, this certainly helps. Let's see what happens here. I think that's a good non-call. All right. Can New York get the ball and work out of its own end with 15 minutes to play? All right. So you've got Stroud, you've got Hall, and you've got Hawk in. I mean, are you he are they I guess they're going to a 3-man back line in an attempt to get players further up the field. They're switching the field here from a 4-man to a 5-man back line and letting those wingbacks get way up and into the attack. I mean, this is nice. New York needs to hold it. And Forsberg doesn't have the legs to chase that down, frankly. Don't foul. Good. Okay. All right. Now let's see how quickly Nashville collapses into its own box. 10 men behind the ball. 11. All 11 players behind the ball. That's a great pass. Ugh. That has to be hit right away. You cannot let that ball bounce. That's Stroud. I know he's just into the game, but Stroud absolutely cannot let that ball hit the ground. Not ideal. Good. We're coming down to it. The final phases of the match. Oh, Applewhite is their youth player. People in Nashville are really, really high on him. I think he's been playing a lot in Huntsville. Like this guy could be a U.S. men's national team future player, Applewhite. Mm. It seemed like New York's goal was one well-taken sequence in a game where they didn't have probably more than 5 sequences like that because they're playing on the road and Nashville isn't giving them enough time and space. You know, that real breakout pass isn't coming. I like what New York's been doing down the wings, but the balls in, yeah, look at that possession. But the balls in just haven't been good enough. Good. Tremendous. It's a yellow for Nashville. Just us kids watching the Red Bulls and Nashville SC as we do seeing Red Live watch along. Hall sold that. Is that Casey Cossum? Sorry. It's late. Okay. I mean, that's a great idea, but you've got to do a bit better than that. We're about to cross into the last 10 minutes of the match. New York, where they've been for most of this game after the 35th minute when Yazbek scored to put Nashville up. Choupo-Moting with the header, and then Nashville with Hani Mukhtar doing the damage. And again, Nashville's never beat New York. They're 10 minutes in injury time away from achieving that goal. If you're just joining, thank you for joining. Seeing Reds live watch along of New York trailing 2-1 at Nashville with 10 minutes to play. I'm not doing the live commentary. We're just watching the game together, which I think is a fun way to experience it. That's a good defensive block. Again, Sandro Schwartz has decided to make his changes, but keep both Emil Forsberg and Choupo-Moting on the field in an effort to get that tying goal. It's been so hard for New York. Here's Forsberg. It's been so hard for New York to get them the ball, although obviously Cam Harper has played a very critical role tonight in finding the head of Choupo-Moting earlier in the second half for New York's only goal. Ayla's earned a corner. I appreciate that Noah Ayla has the green light to get way forward. I think that's one of the things that's been so great this year as Ayla continues to mature. Who's the sub? It's for Caravaggio. It's Victor Bogac. Victor Bogac, who picked up his first MLS point in the White Wedding over the weekend at Sports Illustrated Stadium, and you've got to feel good for that young player to get on the score sheet. Again, I think this year for Bogac is definitely not anything more than development, and he's a big boy, and he just got pushed out of the way. It was Ayla that got pushed out of the way by Willis. Says, what you talking about? Can they do this? Are they going to pull this off? Chat. Add comment. That's not going to help. So Valencia has a yellow card in the first half as a left back, and now Edwards gets another yellow card in the second half as a left back. And that is, I mean, that's my guy leaving his feet super, super easy. And Nashville will absolutely take their time here. Didn't take as much time as I thought. Step up. There we go. That's a yellow for me. Yep, absolutely. Is that Eddie? Eddie with the snot rocket. Well done. Yes, our kits do. So Rick is a big fan of these red kits. Anything is better than our moldy cheese yellows. Come on, New York. Ooh. Good for Victor Bogac. Well done, my son. For a young guy, that man has ink. Oh, my goodness. They say it's addictive. Yeah, that definitely was a chance, Rick. Oh, what's happening here? Andrew getting animated. That was a great chance. Just about 5 to go. Yeah, I mean, as the announcers are saying right now, the Red Bulls are going for it. They are not conceding. They're not satisfied with going 2-1 down. I mean, look, they have Nashville on the back foot here in the dying minutes. Oh, Cam Harper. Woo! All right. New York's young attackers are throwing themselves into this game in the dying minutes here. This is great. To be fair, Nashville has their foot off the gas and they are defending. Schwartz looks like he's Sandro Schwartz is as amiable and affable a guy as I have met from a media standpoint. Certainly a lot more positive than Herr Struber. And to see him get angry during the game is really something. Good. Yellow cards all around. You get a yellow. You get a yellow. Listen, if Nashville's going to get their first ever win over New York, they're going to earn it. No issue with this. Oh. Oh, boy. Don't let him. Wow. Well, that was not Surge's best for sure. 4 minutes in injury time. Yeah, you can't touch the ball again. All right. again, the effect of playing a 90 on the road like this, is that our throw? That is not. Before New York takes on City this weekend is a choice. And it's a choice that we will certainly ask Schwartz about in the post-game presser, which will be long gone from this here match and this here video. Again, it's been really great having you guys here. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing staying with us through the watch along. Again, Seeing Red will be back tomorrow with a preview of the first Hudson Derby match of the year. Oh. Offside. Minutes to go. Whoop. Yes, Red Bull fans will remember the red wedding. Yes, thank you. Thank you, national MLS season pass announcer that has no tie to this team whatsoever. Red Bull fans will remember the greatest regular season win that the team has ever had. Get the ball. There we go. Yazbek's been a monster for Nashville tonight. My goodness. Oh boy. If I'm Nashville, I pull this back. Good. Oh, you have to play advantage there. Come on. Not great. There's Teal Bunbury. There he is. 8,000 years old. Bunbury. Nashville's attacking talent seems a step above New York, certainly from a speed standpoint, right? I mean, they're as much as Forsberg is gifted technically, the legs just aren't there in the same way. But again, for Red Bulls, if this is the final score, I don't think there's anything to be ashamed of. Nashville's so strong. They're a good team. They'll be a top 4 team in the East after this game, and New York drops to 8th if this result holds. With the Rebs playing, they're off. Seven minutes. All right. Okay. You telling me 7 minutes. Let's see what we can do. Oof. Lots of time. Oh boy. I hope Ayla's got eyes on his back shoulder. It was actually Hawk. My bad. It's all connected. Cue the Charlie Day string on the pegboard. We don't want Forsberg getting the ball there, to be honest. All right. Cam Harper has had a terrific game. Not only does he have the assist on the lone goal, he's gone the entire match. He's incredibly active. Do we really want Raheem Edwards taking these corners? If into the mixer. Yeah. Pull it. I need to pull it out and start again. Ugh. All right. Now they say 8 minutes. Does your screen say 8 minutes after they said 7 minutes? What is happening? I think we're all saying the same things here, John. I'll take it. It seems finally that Nashville is. Oh, yeah, New York's been slipping all game. All game. Nice. Nice to keep that in. Let's go. Be a hero. Be a hero. Don't shoot. Be a hero. Oh, that's a great ball. A great, great ball by Hawk. Really good. Really good idea. Unfortunately, Hawk is not playing in the Bundesliga anymore when his attackers are driving at that ball. That was really nice. We're going to end this live stream as soon as the final whistle blows. But I want to thank you all very much for joining our first ever Seeing Red live watch along. Is he being subbed out? What is he doing? Tit Bunbury playing with his captain's armband. It's been great. Again, your support of Seeing Red since 2010 has been part of the joys of helping to talk about this team every week. I appreciate each and every one of you. I know most of you personally. Please come up and say hello the next chance you get. And we will definitely do this again. And we'll do it with enough advance notice for everyone. And I'm pretty confident this will be archived for posterity. StreamYard allows live call-ins? Wow. I don't know if I'll have to do some digging on that. And again, if it's just me running the show, talking, chatting, screening, I think for a first go around, this was a fine experience. Ooh. You love it. Love it. 3 minutes to play here. Ugh. Good. I love that Ale is up. When was the last time we won 2 games in a row? You can make the argument that we won 2 games in a row last week when we outscored our opponents 11-1. But I think you're talking, Diego, in the league. And it's been a minute. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, props to Edwards for getting back and disrupting there, but Trying to dribble two guys. No, agreed. It's a really good point. The team is, as we've talked about, as I've talked about, they're going for it. They're trying to even the game up. They are playing with urgency. Oh, wow, that was garbage. We're getting to the final minute here. I don't want Teal Bunbury to score his 450th all-time goal against the Red Bulls. All will be absolved if New York can go into Citi Field on Saturday and walk out with 3 points. I guarantee it. But again, Nashville, New York will have split the season series with Nashville. And that's okay. Look, New York's going to hang around in the 6 to 10 tranche of the MLS East, I think, for most of the season. We know that Timo Werner is not coming. Handbag shenanigans happening here. It really is, in fact, about doing your best and having fun. That's why we're here. Teal Bunbury's doing it. He's collecting Social Security. You betcha, Diego. We have played 8 minutes of extra time. Nashville seems uninterested in taking a corner kick. The ref is saying things to the Red Bulls. I think it's definitely time to end this. I think that would be acceptable. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? I'm sure we're all Sean Nealis. That's it. All right. Well, listen. New York goes to Nashville. They even the match. They wound up losing 2-1, and the sun will rise. And so once again, I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by for a little bit and watching with me. Hope you've really enjoyed it. I have. I was going to say something like for everyone here at Seeing Red, but I'll just say thank you guys. It means a lot. We'll do this again soon. All right. Have a good night. Bye-bye.